And if we ran out, then we could drink the radiator water, which we thought was strange, but she said since this is a warm climate, there's no antifreeze, we could drink it even though it probably wouldn't be very good. So we settled in, it was getting dark, and as we were trying to rest in the car, we noticed that there are tsetse flies entering the car through the vents. And tsetse flies carry sleeping sickness, so not a good situation to be trapped in a car with tsetse flies. So we devised this method of taking turns swatting each other in the face while the person being swatted was trying to rest, and we would take shifts doing this to keep the tsetse flies away. This seemed to work all right. And then periodically we would be taking our sips of pineapple juice and watching the water buffalo kind of roaming around in the area. A little while later, we noticed that on the horizon there was a line of fire, and the park rangers do periodic controlled burns to maintain the park, so that's what was happening. And we could see this line of flames, low flames, coming over the hill and towards us perpendicular to the road. So you could see this band of orange broken by the road that we were sitting on. And the fire was approaching us slowly, so we had again to have a conversation about what our options were at this point. So we thought we could take the gasoline out of the trunk and leave it behind and then drive through the fire. We could just drive through with it and hope for the best. Or we could sit there and let the fire pass us by. It didn't seem like a good idea. So we decided to do the second option, which is just drive quickly through the fire. And so we waited very attentively, watching the fire coming down the hill. And just as it reached us and we could feel the heat, my mother floored the accelerator and we zoomed through the fire on our flat tire to the other side. And after we were a few meters past it, we stopped again. And we passed the rest of the night in this way, swatting each other to avoid the tsetse flies. In the morning, we sort of assessed the ground and we found a flatter area. So we tried to change the tire again and were successful this time in jacking up the car and removing the flat tire. But when we tried to put the spare that we had borrowed from our friends on the car, we found that it was actually a size too large, which added another dimension to the drive to the lodge because now most of the weight of the car was on the one tire instead of distributed evenly between the four tires. So we drove extremely slowly, and as you can imagine, there are a lot of bumps. So for every bump, we would practically stop the car and go over it extremely slowly. It was torturous progress. As we reached the lodge, we actually went through one more fire, which was on a bluff just above us, so we were relatively safe going underneath it. And we reached the lodge where my father was waiting with the car, extremely worried but happy to see us. And we relaxed, changed, and headed back to Kigali later that day.